Hello friends, welcome back to this channel. Today we'll discuss one of the most controversial and tragic wars of the 20th century, the Vietnam War. A war that left the United States, the superpower with the world's largest military, trapped in the jungle, facing a much smaller but strategic opponent. How could a superpower be so overwhelmed? Let's discuss it together. After World War II ended, the world entered the Cold War era. The United States and the Soviet Union competed for influence. Liberal democracy versus communism. In Southeast Asia, Vietnam became one of these ideological battlegrounds. North Vietnam was led by Ho Chi Minh, who embraced communist ideology, while South Vietnam received support from America and its allies. For America, if Vietnam fell to the communists, other Asian countries would also fall. This is the so-called domino theory. For this reason, America felt compelled to intervene. Initially, America only provided military assistance and advisors. But starting in 1965, that involvement changed drastically. Hundreds of thousands of American troops were sent to Vietnam. They came with fighter jets, helicopters, modern weapons, and even the deadly napalm bomb. America believed victory could be achieved through the power of military technology. However, in the jungles of Vietnam, this proved far from easy. This was one of the main factors that made things difficult for the Americans. The Vietnamese jungle was dense, humid, swampy, and full of malarial mosquitoes. American soldiers often had difficulty moving and even became lost. On the other hand, North Vietnamese troops and the Viet Cong, guerrillas in South Vietnam, were very accustomed to jungle conditions. They could move quickly, hide, and strike suddenly. The Viet Cong did not attempt open combat against American tanks or aircraft. Instead, they employed guerrilla tactics. They ambushed them. They used deadly traps like bamboo spikes or landmines. They tunneled hundreds of kilometers underground to hide, store supplies, and attack unexpectedly. American soldiers often found themselves frustrated by the enemy's seemingly incessant appearance and disappearance. America tried to retaliate with full force. They dropped millions of tons of bombs on Vietnam, more than the entirety of World War II. They also used Agent Orange, a toxic chemical to destroy the jungle to deprive the Viet Cong of hiding places. However, the impact was devastating to the environment and causing suffering for civilians. Thousands were left diseased, disabled, and homeless. The Vietnam War ultimately became a brutal conflict, not only for the soldiers, but also for the common people. For American soldiers, this war was a nightmare. They faced an invisible enemy, traps at every turn, and horrific jungle conditions. Many soldiers suffered from stress, trauma, and depression. Even after returning to America, they struggled to adapt to normal life. The Vietnam War left deep scars, not only in Vietnam, but also in the hearts of the American people. Meanwhile, at home, Americans began to ask themselves, why did we fight in Vietnam? Horrific images and videos from the battlefield were broadcast live on television. The corpses, burning villages, and suffering of the Vietnamese people turned many against the war. A massive anti-war movement emerged. Thousands of students took to the streets, protesting the government and demanding the immediate withdrawal of American troops. After years of fighting, the casualties mounted. More than 58,000 American soldiers were killed, and millions of Vietnamese lost their lives. Finally, in 1973, America withdrew its troops. 2 years later, in 1975, North Vietnamese forces captured Saigon, and the war ended with a communist victory. America had to face the bitter truth. They had lost a war they could never truly win. The Vietnam War is a profound lesson in world history. A war that demonstrated that military might and advanced technology do not always guarantee victory. Sometimes the courage, strategy, and spirit of the people fighting on their own soil can defeat even the greatest power. From this, we learn that war always brings suffering, not only to the losers, but also to those considered victorious. Thank you for watching this video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to stay tuned for more interesting historical discussions. See you in the next video.